it's Rob Bryanton, and this is the Imagining the 10th Dimension video blog. Today, in behind me, you can see one of the pages from my website. If you go to 10thdimension.com, there's the navigation menu over to the left, and if you click on the book, you're taken to a page that then shows you a little outline of what the chapters are and what's in each of those chapters. And also underneath the image of the book, there's a number of tiny little quotes there from some of the reviews that have happened of the book over the course of the project here. Today, this blog entry is called New Book Reviews at Amazon. It turns out a few new reviews were just posted there, so I'd like to talk about that today. You can read along with this if you go to 10thdimension.com/blog. I've said before that one of the trickiest things about promoting Imagining the 10th Dimension is that its ideas cover such a broad range. If you read the compilation I've made of reviews of the book, and again that's a link that you'd be able to click on if you're reading this along in the blog, you'll see many different opinions about what is good and bad about my way of visualizing how our reality is constructed from the background information of the omniverse. Over at Amazon.com, you'll see that the majority of the reviews of my book are positive, but that there are definitely some fanatically negative reviews by people who bought a book called Imagining the 10th Dimension, A New Way of Thinking About Time and Space, and which includes in its description that it is not about mainstream physics, and you will see that those reviewers nonetheless angrily complain that the book doesn't portray the currently established thinking of mainstream physics. You will also see that negativity being what it is, that more people curious about the book found those negative reviews to be helpful. For students wanting to learn about the more mainstream approaches, there are lists of books which I've promoted from the beginning of this project. One of those lists is found in the preamble section of the 10th Dimension website. It also seems clear that my project's willingness to embrace some of the more metaphysical, spiritual tangents that are possible from this way of visualizing reality can raise the hackles of those who have been taught that their science should be completely atheistic. So now here are 3 new reviews of my book, published at Amazon.com just a few weeks ago, which I think add nicely to the discussion. First of all, this is from Richard Ruff of McMahon's Creek, Australia. He gives the book 5 out of 5 stars, and his review is called Mapping a Framework for the Big Picture. He says, higher dimensions, many worlds, parallel universes, multidimensionality, non-locality, these and similar terms are variously invoked in relativity, quantum mechanics, mathematics, religion, science fiction, paranormal phenomena, telepathy, meditation, and drug experiences. Higher dimensions range from being complex mathematical constructs to non-quantifiable experiential phenomena. But for the average person, and most likely for many professional scientists, there is a need to know the answer to the type of query once posed by Woody Allen. There is no question that there is an unseen world. The problem is, how far is it from Midtown and how late is it open, said Woody Allen. Richard goes on. That is, we want to know what are the characteristics of the higher dimensions, how do they differ, and what are the implications of their existence? Is there a logic to the definition of such definitions? These types of questions have nagged at me for over 30 years. Everything I read only nibbled at the edges of indulged in esoterica. Then I stumbled onto Rob Bryanton's Imagining the 10th Dimension, A New Way of Thinking About Time and Space. In an easily readable style, he has boldly taken us past the 4th dimension through to the 10th, employing an understandable logic based upon geometric considerations. There's no mind-boggling mathematics, and there is a distinct absence of the crackpot type of style. Each step along the way is carefully developed in a sequential manner, accompanied by readily understandable diagrams. Again, without being too technical, he correlates properties of the unfolding dimensions with predictions and outcomes of modern physics, especially quantum mechanics. Philosophical implications are explored along the way. Imagining the 10th dimension, a new way of thinking about time and space, has at long last provided a framework in which the bigger picture, for me at least, makes intuitive and scientific sense. Stick with the logic and you too should be rewarded with an aha experience. I felt the dots were joined and the gaps filled in my own personal ponderings on higher dimensions, and the sense of satisfaction was not just restricted to the scientific side of me. My background is in the physical sciences, and having read the book twice, I have yet to find any weaknesses in the proposals. For the more mathematically and physics-minded amongst you, the challenge is to subject Rob Bryanton's ideas to scrutiny. He has an excellent blog site for such feedback and discussion. And thank you very much, Richard. You know, those are kind words that make me blush a little bit to hear somebody saying such nice things, but I do appreciate it very much. Let's move on to the next review now from Amazon.com. This is also 5 out of 5 stars from David Levy, who says, "You will not be disappointed." And his review goes like this: Imagining the 10th Dimension is a wonderful book that helped me thinking outside of the box and taught me many complex concepts in a fun and easy to understand way. Bryanton's way of thinking is easy to follow, and his explanations make a lot of sense to scientists, philosophers, and to the average reader alike. I highly recommend this book to anyone interested in learning about some of the most complex concepts in modern science in a fun and revolutionary way. You will not be disappointed. And again, thank you very much to David for that review. The third review I'm going to quote from here out of these three is 4 out of 5 stars from C. Leonard, who says, "Imagining the different possibilities in life" as the title for his review. And it goes like this: This book is excellent for a reader looking to expand their horizon on something more than what is in front of them. It gives you an opportunity to think of all the possibilities you have in life. I read this book on a volunteering trip, realizing if I wasn't volunteering, I could be doing many different things than what I was doing at that time. Another thing, reading this book requires an open mind. You can stand close to your beliefs, but this book offers an insight into some intriguing subjects. I give it 4 out of 5 personally because I know life is definite until our parting. So pick up Imagining the 10th Dimension and discover a few new perspectives on the way dimensions are viewed. Now, I'm grateful to reviewers like C. Leonard, David Levy, and Richard Ruff, who have taken time out of their busy lives to share their thoughts on this project. And I would invite anyone who is new to what I'm trying to do here to spend some time with the 10th Dimension FAQ. If you just type those 3 words into Google, 10th Dimension FAQ, F-A-Q, where you will find lots of links to some of the most commonly asked questions about this project. The 10th Dimension Forum is also a good place for lively discussions about the nature of reality and our place within the universe. You can get there by going to 10thdimension.com/forum. And also if you go to 10thdimension.com/chat, there's usually a streaming video and live chat window there for people wanting to participate in discussions and watch videos about the large cloud of ideas that surround this project. That's all for today from Imagining the 10th Dimension. Thank you to the readers that have taken the time to post the reviews for this project. And to everyone out there who's been watching, enjoy the journey.